Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.
Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, 1033 on your hometown station. Joining me in studio, a very special guest. And I don't often get to talk to her because she lives in Virginia. And this is the first time I met you, actually. But Tami Hulcher, she's the queen of health. Tami is a mother of 3 children, a health educator, guest on TV and radio, writer, and a certified cooking instructor. Her passions are children's nutrition, obesity, cancer awareness, and the environment. She is a mom on a mission, quote, mom on a mission, and has become the voice of thousands of concerned parents, educators, and health advocate. And Tami, the Queen of Health, joins me in studio, thequeenofhealth.com, and she is going to be speaking at the Valencia Hills Clubhouse tomorrow, and you can reserve your seat. You need to RSVP. It is free to the public, but you do need to RSVP, 866-313-8177, or email thequeenofhealth@verizon.net. Thank you for joining us in studio. And you had to fight through traffic to get here, of course.
Yeah, you were doing the traffic update. It was kind of funny because you were saying, I'm thinking, I can still talk to you because we're on live, right? I wanted to interject. It was like, a whole bunch of meat just spilled out. I went, darn, too bad.
And we'll get into that right now. So we're going to talk about, we just talked about what creates healthy cells, which is, stress relieving, fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. Good clean water.
Clean water.
Try to reduce your stress a little. Sleep. Get some sleep.
Yeah.
There's
sleep. Sleep is you
overlooked, repair your circadian rhythm. What happens is when you need to go into REM sleep. That rapid eye movement to start. That's when we repair. That's when our body kind of shuts down, and metabolically it just goes, okay, all right, let's shut out everything from the day and let's try to repair really quick before they wake up, and so you want to get some really good sleep in there. That is very important. So thanks for reminding us all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So
what do you want to talk about?
Now we're going to talk about sad stuff. Well, not necessarily sad stuff, but maybe we're here.
I'm Jerry on you.
We're here to enlighten people of the mistakes that they are making. So I ask you, what are the things that you say health begins at the cellular level? Mm-hmm. What are some of the things people do that damage their cells?
Okay. And a lot of this is out there. It's normal research. We know that there are certain things. Obviously, environmental triggers are going to, smog and pesticides. And, there's just all sorts of things that we know damage the cells and, really mess with them, I say. So some of the things that we are now finding out, and this is not only through another group that I work with, is the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine out of Washington, D.C., and that is pcrm.org, where you can find a lot of research. But a friend of mine who I actually had on the show years ago before he became very, very celebrity and popular, is Dr. T. Colin Campbell, the author of the China Study, and he is Professor Emeritus of Nutritional Biochemistry at Cornell. And, we now start to see that a lot of animal protein can trigger some cancer cells. And obviously we know with heart disease because of the fat and the cholesterol and things like that. So there are certain things, environmentally speaking, smoking, if there is not one person on this earth that knows that smoking causes lung cancer, you need to get a clue. So we know that, right? We know that affects the cellular level. And as I said, my mom has emphysema from years of smoking. I mean, she quit years ago, but still the damage is done. And she gasps for air. It's hard to watch that happen. So there are these things that we know out there that cause that damage, but we're now starting to see lots of animal protein, lots of fat, because that animal protein, especially with maybe a breast cancer, for instance, we look at estrogen. Sometimes we have too much estrogen. Well, if you keep eating meat, you keep increasing your estrogen level. So it's some of the times it's called nutrition manipulation. If we can manipulate, turn on and turn off those cells. For instance, we now know through medical research that there are things that we can trigger. Certain, like if you're genetically predisposed to have certain things, like for instance, just Angelina Jolie, and we could do a whole nother show on that one. But if you have a certain genetic propensity, it does not mean that you are going to get that disease. You have to express that gene. You have to flip on the light switch to make it turn into that. We can also do things that shut down and keep that turned off. And like you said, to turn those things off, it's, the sleep and, not get so stressed, not have that free radical damage on the cells. Things that will rapid fire the cells are going to be your animal proteins, your processed foods. Now they're looking at dairy as some triggers to some of the cancers, certain cancers at certain sites. It's, breast and maybe prostate and stuff. We look at diabetes. Diabetes can be, now we start looking at diabetes triggering back to or having a correlation with dairy consumption. So if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, if you have the genetic propensity, like people say, well, my mom had breast cancer, my dad had heart disease, blah, 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 I'm probably going to get it. No, that is not the truth. You don't have to be a helpless victim. You can keep those cells at bay, protect them, mute them, turn them off. And we know that now through nutritional manipulation. So some of the things that we're doing, we just need to, and if you want to continue to eat some of that stuff, you need to balance and eat some of the good stuff, or a lot more of the good stuff.
More of the good stuff,
So
yeah.
if you're eating all the bad stuff, and we talk about this as putting happy faces on all your cells. I have slides and people start to get it. Your choices, you're either going to put happy faces on your cells or you're going to put sad faces. And we know what happens with sad faces on our cells. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, and things like that.
Or just not being able to do your regular daily activities starts as that probably.
Absolutely. Making sure you're getting adequate sleep and you're not so stressed out and you're constantly pulling out your hair. You have to balance. Exactly.
Okay, so I want to talk to you about this.
Uh-oh.
Sugar.
Yes.
What's the big deal? It's so sweet and wonderful.
It is so sweet and wonderful. Sugar has about, and I was saying early on, setting I think up that we have trillions and trillions and trillions of cells, and we have those taste bud cells that want to control the other trillion. And sugar, interestingly enough, sugar is one of those things that the body will just constantly crave if we give it to it all the time. One of the things that we know about sugar is it has about 108 side effects. One of the biggest, the two of the biggest, is sugar feeds cancer cells, rapid fire. Lots of excess processed sugar. I'm talking processed. I'm not talking eating sugar from an apple and a pineapple. I'm talking about the processed sugar, the sugar packets and things. So sodas, lots of that stuff. So sugar feeds cancer cells, rapid fire. Sugar also suppresses the immune system. I was lucky enough to be chosen, another shameless, I have to do the shameless celebrity thing, name dropper.
I'm all about it.
I was asked to be a life changer on Extra TV, and they paired me with Dr. Mehmet Oz. So it was a big thing for me. And Dr. Oz, he amened what I just said. Sugar suppresses the immune system. And he said, absolutely. So if sugar is suppressing the immune system, you need your immune system to fight off cancer cells, viruses, colds, flu, and everything else. So if you're drinking or eating lots of sugar, you've got your immune system shut way down.
Getting way down. And
everything else has time, all the critters time to come in and play house and wreak havoc. So sugar suppresses the immune system. There's some things with the hyperactivity, stomach problems, depression, just a lot of things. Too much sugar can wreak havoc.
Okay.
Oh, so now that you're depressed and you have sad face, let's come back and do some fun stuff.
Let's do some fun stuff. Okay, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about, you said you speak to a lot of high schools about skincare, and we also have brain health, and we have
if we get to it, I do talk a lot about.
However, we do want to make sure that everybody knows that you're going to be speaking at Valencia Hills Clubhouse, and that's if free to the public. You got to RSVP 866-313-8177 or email thequeenofhealth@verizon.net. The Queen of Health is in studio with us. Tami Hulcher on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We're going to have some more tips, more teases to what you're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Royal tips.
Okay. Coming up next, AM 1220 KHTS.